was today's years old when I realized that it actually doesn't take us a lot of time to get stuff done.
You're likely watching this video in an effort to avoid some other task. You're procrastinating to learn how to stop procrastinating.
In the book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, one thing that I really understood from it is we often tell ourselves stories about how we feel like our day is going to go, about what is going to happen, the speed or how fast we think we can get stuff done.
It's 5 p.m. and you've just realized that report you've been putting off is due tomorrow. It's time to buckle down, open your computer, and check your phone.
And most times those stories can either be good or bad. If you ever think about a bad day that you've had and you think about the things that you were thinking about when you woke up and the stories that you were telling yourself, you could clearly see a direct correlation between the stories that you told yourself and how your day went. Let me give you an example. When I wake up in the morning, I challenge myself to do 50 push-ups. I stretch, I meditate, I write in my journal, I work out, and I go for a run. My second mile, and I normally don't pause to make videos, but I want to show you proof. Those are the 5-6 things that I have to do every single morning. But I've been realizing of late that sometimes I would wake up and I would kind of tell myself a story of my body is tired. I feel like I don't want to do this. And most times I have to consciously fight through it to get to the other side of the tunnel. You remember a time when you've probably had a bad day? Think about the story that you told yourself at the beginning of the day. You will see that there is some direct correlation between the stories that you told yourself and how your day went. One thing that always comes to my mind is the word procrastination. And procrastination is this interesting duality where you feel like you have enough time, but you also feel like you don't have enough time. It's somewhere in the middle. If you want to be successful, if you want to have great habits and live a healthy life, if you want to work on personal development, procrastination is one of those things that you really need to look after, because procrastination is the devil that wants to stop you from hitting your goals. I wanted to find out, what is procrastination? Why do we tell ourselves all these stories? And finally, why do people procrastinate? In my last video, I talk about 5 habits that help make you a successful creative. And there's one habit that I want us to pay attention to, and that is having an action plan. So the first occurrence is time. And if we think about time, a lot of people like to feel like they don't have enough time in the week. Some people work 40 hours a week and always complain about not having enough time. There are 24 hours in a day and there's 7 days in a week, meaning there are 168 hours in a week. So we work 40 hours a week and we sleep 8 hours a day, meaning that we sleep 56 hours out of the week. If we remove 56 hours from 168, it means we have 112 hours left. Now let's think about it. What do you do with the 112 hours? We need to work. We're working 40 hours a week. Okay, so if we work 40 hours a week, 40 hours away from 112 is 72. So we actually have enough time to work 2 full-time jobs and some. So what happens to the remaining 72 hours? That's enough time for family, working on side projects, and working on your mental health. So what exactly is the problem? And it really gets to me because at the back of my brain, I do feel like I don't have enough time. Because when I really thought about it, I realized that we have so many things that we spend so much time doing. We often spend a lot of time thinking than doing. And I think this is the problem. We are to want to change, the less likely we are to want to create an action plan. How do we fill this gap? I'm an agency owner and most of the things that I do creatively, I get paid for it. But like you watching on this YouTube channel, I also love to make videos. But I also know that I don't get paid to make videos, at least for now. So I'm more likely to procrastinate on this than I am to procrastinate on doing client work. Because I feel with client work, I actually have an obligation, and if I don't fulfill on the task and things that I've promised, I tend to lose everything that I've built. So how do I tell myself the same story? If I don't create content and do things that I'm actually passionate for, I might still lose everything. But the big question is, what are we actually losing? We're losing fulfillment. Think about it. If you don't start, you would never know what it felt like to start. You would always be that person that didn't start. Let's think about the things that procrastination is doing to you and how bad it really is. Number 1, because you procrastinate a lot, I believe that your self-esteem is actually going to get lower and lower every time. Because you're going to constantly believe that you're not capable of starting when you're supposed to do. And that has a way of affecting your own psyche. And that leads to reduced confidence in actually doing the work. Everybody likes to be productive. But if we're to sum up productivity, that means saving time. We all want to save time. And that brings us to how much time we actually have. You believe that starting today actually makes you a better person tomorrow. If you believe that you actually have something to lose by not starting today, by not getting things done today, by making good use of the time that you have. Because those 72 hours that we have, we are wasting every single week. We have so much time. So at the beginning of this year, I wanted to figure out, why do I procrastinate? I wanted to create a system that I could use to optimize the first 5 hours of the day. So I created this non-negotiable. Wake up at 6:30, 50 push-ups. These push-ups actually make sure that I'm awake, and it gets the adrenaline flowing in my body. It gets me ready to work. 2, I sit down and meditate. Meditation is something that I've actually come to enjoy. It's a time for me to really sit down, think about my goals for the day, just reflect on everything that happened the day before and what are the things I really want to attack that day. And then I stretch. Being someone who runs and is active, I always want to make sure that I'm stretching so that my body can feel very free. Then I go on a run. I think running is something that everybody should do. I hear a lot of excuses and people are like, oh, I can't run, oh, I don't have enough time. It usually takes me about 25 to 35 minutes to run between 4 to 5 miles. And I also have this app called Strides. The green days are my perfect days and the blue days are kind of the iffy days. So you can also look back at your month and figure out where you were slacking. The key is being consistent and to really take advantage of those hours. And you can get a lot done without breaking a sweat. If there's one thing that I want you to take from this video, is that we should stop overestimating how hard things are. Yes. Is it going to be difficult? Probably. But the truth is, you wouldn't know if you don't start. So my question to you is, why not get started? Because personally, I want us to leave procrastination in the past. Because I've left it in the past. And I'm becoming a new man. New person, new me.